My mom looked me straight in the eye on Christmas night, in front of my whole family, and said the words I'll never forget. "You're the most useless child we have." Can you imagine hearing that from your own mother, on the one night when families are supposed to feel closest, when love is supposed to fill the room? And before I tell you what happened after I answered back, let me just say this. If you've ever felt unwanted, if you've ever felt like no matter what you do, it's not enough for the people you love, then this story is for you. Stick with me until the end, because you might just see yourself in it. And if you believe no one should ever feel worthless, hit that like button and subscribe, because stories like this are meant to be heard. It all started that Christmas when everyone gathered around the long dining table. The golden lights twinkled on the tree, gifts were stacked neatly underneath, and carols played softly in the background. From the outside, it looked perfect, but on the inside it was anything but. My siblings sat beside me. My older brother, tall and successful, the pride of the family. My sister, beautiful and accomplished, the one everyone praised. And then there was me, the one no one ever seemed to notice unless it was to point out my failures. I tried to stay quiet that night, to blend in, to keep the peace. But sometimes life doesn't let you stay invisible. It began with something small. My mom asked my brother about his new promotion. Applause, cheers, proud smiles. Then she turned to my sister, praising her for her achievements, her charm, her plans for the future. And then her eyes landed on me. The smile slipped from her face. "And you," she said, voice sharp enough to cut through the laughter. "What exactly do you even do with your life? You're the most useless child we have." The room went silent. Forks stopped halfway to mouths. My heart dropped, and my chest tightened so much I thought I might stop breathing. All my life, I had struggled to live up to their expectations, tried so hard to make them proud. And here it was, laid bare for everyone to hear, her complete disappointment in me. My aunts and uncles shifted uncomfortably, my cousins stared down at their plates, my brother and sister just looked away. Not one person spoke up for me. But something inside me broke that night. For years I had swallowed my words, stayed quiet, let them define me as the failure. But not this time. My hands trembled, but my voice came out steady. "You know what, Mom?" I said. "You're right. I'm not like them. I don't have a promotion or a perfect life to brag about. But that doesn't make me useless. I've been working quietly, building something, even if you never noticed. And maybe you've forgotten. But usefulness isn't measured by money or titles. It's measured by heart. And whether you see it or not, I have that." Gasps filled the room. My mom's face hardened, but I kept going. Years of bottled-up pain poured out like a flood. I reminded her of the times I had been there when no one else was. The nights I stayed with my sick grandmother when everyone else was too busy. The chores I did without thanks, the sacrifices I made in silence. "I may not be the child you wanted," I said, my voice shaking. "But I refuse to believe I'm worthless just because I'm different." Tears burned my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. Instead, I stood up from the table. For the first time in my life, I chose myself. I walked away from that dinner, my heart heavy but strangely free. That night I sat alone in my room, questioning everything. Was I really useless? Or had I just believed the lies I'd been told for so long? And in that quiet, something shifted inside me. I realized that the only opinion that truly mattered was my own. I wasn't useless. I was just unseen. And maybe it was time I stopped waiting for their approval and started living for myself. The days that followed weren't easy. My mom barely spoke to me, and my siblings avoided the subject. But for the first time, I stopped comparing myself to them. I focused on what I loved, writing, helping people, creating things that mattered to me. Slowly, I began to find purpose. I started a small project, a community initiative that grew bigger than I ever imagined. I met people who valued me not for what I wasn't, but for what I was. And every time doubt crept back in, I remembered that Christmas night. The night I answered back. The night I chose to believe in myself instead of their judgment. Months later, something happened that I never expected. My mom came to me, eyes softer than I had ever seen. She sat down, hesitated, and finally said, "I was wrong." Her voice cracked as she admitted that her words had come from her own pain and disappointment, things she never dealt with. She told me she didn't realize how much strength it took for me to stand up for myself. And though her apology didn't erase the hurt, it opened a door. For the first time, I felt seen, not completely, not perfectly, but enough to start healing. And now, looking back, I realize something powerful. Sometimes the people closest to us can hurt us the most. Sometimes they can blind us to our own worth. But we don't have to let their words define us. We can choose to answer back, not with anger, not with hate, but with truth, courage, and self-respect. So if you're watching this and you've ever felt like the useless one, hear me now, you are not. Your worth is not measured by someone else's expectations. It's measured by the love you give, the kindness you show, and the resilience you carry in your heart. Don't wait for their approval. Build your own. Because the night my mom said I was useless was the same night I learned I was enough. And if I could find my voice, so can you. And if this story touched your heart even a little, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can create a space where no one ever feels worthless again.